Okay, here's some basics about clock design and clock mechanisms. This is what you're going to need. You're going to need a clock mechanism there, a set of hands. You're going to need some rubber washers, a nut to tighten the clock. So let's start with the clock mechanisms. Well, there are two types to choose from. There's one like that has a very long spindle, and that's for going through a material of up to 10 millimeters thick, so a clock face of 10 millimeters thick, and the short one there, which is for going through a clock face of up to 5 millimeters thick. Now the actual clock mechanism, you'll have to make sure that you measure the clock mechanism, so the length, the width, and the thickness as well, to make sure that it fits into your design. You could use the hook on the top. Alternatively, you could cut that off if you want to, if it gets in the way of your design. On the back, you've got the dial to change the hands, change the time, and you've got space to put a battery. And you have to make sure that you can access that in your design so that you can change the battery and change the time. The idea is that the clock mechanism is totally hidden behind the clock face, like that. You're not meant to see the clock mechanism at all. And on the front, on the clock face, that's where you put your clock face design. These are the clock hands that are available to you. They're all slightly different design, but they all fit on both of the clock mechanisms. You need to choose one that suits the style of your clock, and also you have to take into account the length of the hands as well. You'll need to measure those and make sure that your clock face size matches the length of the hands. We can talk now about the clock face. Now, you've seen that the clock mechanism you choose has to match the thickness of the clock face. So I've got two examples here. One of acrylic, and it's 3 millimeters thick, and this is MDF, and it's 8 millimeters thick. So for both of those, we'd have to use the two different size clock mechanisms. So if we start with the let's start with the drilling the hole. Now, to drill the hole, you need a 10 millimeter hole for the clock mechanism to go through, and if you're drilling into acrylic, you need to use these special drill bits just for plastic, and for the other material you can just use. We've got all the pieces. We've got the hands, the clock face, we've got the mechanism. In this case I've got the 10 millimeter spindle, and a rubber washer, and the nut. So we're going to start assembling it. So from the back you put the clock mechanism, but before you do that you put the rubber washer on like that. That goes like that, and then the nut tightens up from the front. Okay, and you need to tighten it up firmly so that you can hold one side and turn the other. Right, and it should be quite tight, because if it moves around, then the clock hands aren't going to always tell the right time. So tighten that up like that, and then you put the clock clock hands on. This is quite difficult to do, and maybe you should ask help to do that, especially the second one. Well, that went on, and then you can see my clock face here. The hand is too long, so that's no good. But you can set them both to 12 o'clock, and then when you turn it around, they both go around and tell the time. Make sure that when you design your clock that you can get to the back. You need to be able to get to this to change the hands, and there to put the battery in.